What's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things comic books. We are doing an old-fashioned correction today, which is what got us started in the business. So we are going back to our roots here and joining in for a correction. But before we do that, don't forget, like and subscribe. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you know what's going on when all the episodes come out. And you can hear our lovely voices whenever we put down new episodes because they're great and we talk about great stuff.
It's the best.
Yeah, right?
Join our Patreon so you get to hear even
Patreon.
more of our beautiful voices in our podcast to nothing.
And we can do more cool stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. We
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Cool beans.
Oh, you pointed that out.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Cool
you guys.
stuff,
Yep,
too,
definitely
man.
not the two new mics.
Definitely not Mando right behind me.
Yeah, well, we got all this. We got all this cool stuff because fans like you
That's right.
support. So if you want
Wonderful
to
fans,
join
wonderful fans.
and become part of the Legion, hit that Patreon button so that you can do that. There's other links too. You can click all down there. Legion of Comic Correction.
Click.
LegionofCC.com is our website. We just dropped new merch in
New
January.
merch alert.
It's so new that we
Yeah.
don't even have it yet.
We've
Like,
ordered
it's not
some.
even
and
on. You're
gonna have to
it's
wait.
coming here. So yeah. if
No,
you-
I mean, you can get it, but we haven't gotten it yet
Oh,
to be
yeah.
able to highlight it and be like, that's new merch.
Right.
We don't
This
have
is
it yet.
all old merch.
I ordered a whole bunch of it, but we didn't get it yet.
If you
Yep.
order now, you might
Order now.
just get it before we get it.
That's interesting.
That'd be weird, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, it's all great. So go down there and click those links and
Just do
check out
it.
all that stuff. It's pretty
That's
cool.
right. That's right.
Oh, baby. All right.
Oh, baby.
We are jumping into an old-fashioned comic correction, and it is, man, is it a correction?
It's Carnage.
Bad. It's
bad.
Carnage. Yeah, right. We're jumping into our Carnage report for
What are you
Venom
gonna give
There
it?
Be Carnage.
I was waiting the whole time to
man.
say that just to see what
you
Harry's
wanted
gonna get.
that.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I got it.
I was so bad I didn't even
got
want to
it.
give you that.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those that it hits you in the soul.
It hits you
It
where-
hits you. It hits
It
you
hits
in the
where it
worst
hurts.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we did the
Hit
first...
me with your best shot.
Far away.
Man,
That was my
usually
best shot on this.
Usually it's the end of the episode. You
No,
gotta
right now.
jump into song.
Coming in hard.
We did the first Venom movie last
That's
year.
right.
And we got some really good response to that. And people actually asking us, when are you going to do Venom of There Be Carnage? We had other actually good movies to watch. So
And shows.
we did
There was
those.
just so much content that
Yeah.
actually we joked
We
about when we
planned.
were going through the
We-
pandemic. Like, there's not enough content for anything. We're just
Yeah,
doing
there's
shows
so
and
much
old
content.
movies.
Now it's just
Now we're
nonstop.
So much.
now we're rolling and we can't keep up.
Yeah, we planned to do this episode for Halloween.
Yeah,
Give
we
you a
did,
little
we
context
did.
there. And then
4 months
stuff
late.
just came out. And
Yep.
yeah, we had to do it. So
But I'm glad to do it now, except I'm not glad to do it now. I'm actually like really not interested in this movie.
Well,
This is all kind of a toll for us, especially
it-
Logan and I.
yeah,
We're
this
just like,
is- oh my gosh.
checking the box.
So rough.
Checking the
so rough.
Well,
so rough.
Listen, we do it so that others
We
don't
do
have
it
to.
exactly. We
put this
take
on ourselves.
burden.
Yeah.
We take that burden.
You're
Sure.
welcome.
This is not easy. Do you think we don't just do
We don't
this?
enjoy this at
No.
all.
Yeah, this is not easy.
You know, God bestowed a gift upon us.
Right,
and-
someone has to do it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to use that
Someone's
gift.
got to do it. It's
Exactly.
got to be us.
Exactly. Somebody's
All
got
right,
to
well-
make these corrections.
Let's jump into our Carnage report.
Yeah.
Chainsaw.
That wasn't even a joke. That's just our actual title.
Yeah, it is. All right. All right. So Venom: Let There Be Carnage was made for just $110 million. So
I know, that's
not
actually
very
bad.
much.
No, but it's
I mean, it's good,
semi-impressive.
but it's also
It's
bad.
also yeah, the effects were actually pretty good in it. Like,
Do you wanna know-
the Venom effects and the Carnage effects look pretty
yeah,
cool.
all the chickens.
I so many
He ate
chickens.
a lot of chickens.
Dude,
Yeah.
scrolling through random movie stuff, okay, to give you a frame of reference.
Yeah.
This is the one of the worst movies of all time.
It's
Do you
pretty bad.
remember? No. I'm going to give you a comparison.
Oh.
So this was made for 110.
Yes.
Do you remember the movie The Son of the Mask? The
Yeah.
sequel
Oh,
to
so
The
bad.
Mask.
To the mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was made
Without
for
Jim Carrey.
$100 million. So
Wow, we've come a
as
long
a
way.
comparison point,
Yeah, that's good comparison.
that
point. I
is
like
insane.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, It made bank. This movie made bank.
I
So
don't understand.
it
I don't understand.
Yeah, it made 501 million worldwide. So
Wow.
they try and double their budget, and this
They easily
out of the
did
water.
that. Yeah, and I got to give them
They're
credit for
all
that.
just sitting there like, I don't know
came
how
back.
we did that.
I know
It's
exactly
back.
how they did
It's
that.
back
I
in-
know exactly how they
It
did
is back in
It's
theaters.
back in theaters.
I
It
know.
is.
It's for limited runs right now. January, I think 14th, it came back.
This,
saw that,
between
yeah.
these
Yeah.
two movies, between
Yeah.
Venom and Carnage, they have made over $1 billion. I think it's like 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollars between the two movies. That is absurd, but I know exactly how they do it. They follow a very, very clear formula.
Yeah.
Lean heavily on Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
That is
Well, what else are you gonna do?
that they do.
No, you
that
know-
is all they're doing. There's no storyline. There's no
I
plot.
think-
There's nothing.
Well, there
Just
was a little
fans-
bit of a storyline. This
Fans
one.
of Tom
I
Hardy
think-
just being like,
And
oh, it's a
Venom.
Tom Hardy.
But
film.
I
and
think-
fans of Venom.
I think I feel like it was less Tom Hardy and Venom in this movie.
But do you want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Because they brought Woody Harrelson, and he's great.
Thank you.
And he was
Thank
great.
you.
He did
We
a
said
really
that
good
in
job.
If
unison,
you,
Yeah.
if you
Well, as
bring
all
in
things
Woody
should be.
Harrelson, you
Yeah.
lean on him too.
Right.
That's all that they
Yeah.
did.
He was-
They
and he was
leaned
great.
on the two of them. They are phenomenal actors, and not only
Yeah.
are they phenomenal, they have a major cult following behind them.
Yeah.
It
True.
is
Yeah,
it is
Woody
a
Harrelson's
very
fantastic.
simple formula. The other thing that goes along with this, and this is I told you about this. I don't know if I told you. I think I told you this too, but Venom is one of the most popular characters of all time, and a proof point of that is
Right.
just the other day, a single comic book page
Oh,
from a
yeah, you were telling me
Spider-Man
this.
comic in
you told me this,
1984. Yeah. The first appearance of Spider-Man with Venom in him in the black suit.
Yeah.
First appearance, single page of the comic book, sold for over $3 million.
Yeah, that's bank. That's crazy.
I don't know. Why?
The bidding started at 330,000.
The person who won it is just they're gonna send a video and they're just gonna light it on fire.
I
Yeah,
don't.
just 'cause-
Just be like,
Just stupid money.
Over $3 million. So
That's crazy.
That just
That's
shows you
stupid.
how popular
just
Venom
wild.
is. And I don't know
I
if people
guess.
have grasped that concept.
I guess.
Like the symbiote Venom and the character is
Well,
just
and
it's so crazy.
Black suit Spider-Man is like
Black suit Spider-Man.
coolest
One of the
Spider-Man
coolest Spider-Man.
ever.
Yeah.
Like that
Yep.
suit design is so simplistic, so
Outside of
iconic.
OG. Like
Yeah.
OG and
OG
Venom.
and Black Suit Spider-Man is just the
Coolest
thing.
things.
Yeah. Well, all right. So Rotten Tomatoes, tomato meter gave it a 58%. Audience score gave it an 84.
Same thing happened before.
Yeah.
The audience score was
Was high,
ridiculously
yeah.
higher.
And
Ridiculously higher. I agree.
I'm agreeing with Rotten Tomatoes this time.
with Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is just going nuts over these two movies.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's a really short movie. How long is it? I forget how long it's really really
Yeah,
short.
I can tell you exactly
It's
how long.
up
It's
an
90
hour-
minutes.
Yeah, it's an hour and 37 minutes.
Yep. Take out the credits, hour 30.
Yeah, hour and 30. It felt really
It
long.
felt like 4 hours long.
It was dragging.
Really
It dragged a lot.
dragged
Yeah, really long.
so hard.
It was, man.
The
it wasn't
first one,
good.
I will say this, I don't know about your thoughts. First one was a better movie to me. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even like the first
No,
one.
I
The first
actually-
one was a better
I
movie.
didn't mind the first movie. I didn't think it was a great movie. Like I probably wouldn't watch it again. But like when I was done, I was like, that was worth the $4 I spent. Like I thought it was worth the $3.
Which
I
is
spent.
not much to say. We've had plenty of movies where we
Yeah.
have said, I cannot believe I can't
Right.
get that $4, $3 back.
Right, but like
Yeah.
I thought I didn't mind the first movie. I thought it was fine. My biggest complaint.
I minded it,
My
but-
biggest complaint, which we talked about in the other episode, was that there was no Spider-Man. Like Venom isn't
Which
Venom without
yeah.
Spider-Man.
is still here.
Oh, of course, but it just was worse this time. I think everything,
Right.
none of it worked well.
Yeah.
In this movie,
Yeah.
I think anyway. I just think they just kind of bombed on everything, and they changed a few things. We'll talk about in the source. They changed a few things from the source material.
They're directly
That was not good.
referencing some of the other source material, though. Like
Lethal
directly,
Protector and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. The name,
which is
they're
fine.
directly referencing, and then they're skewing from it.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't even take from Lethal Protector in this one. I mean, they do
Exactly.
some, they do some, but anyway. Andy Serkis directed this.
I know.
Yeah, that's the.
It's so sad.
That's crazy, and he wasn't in it.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
that man
that man's a chameleon.
is a chameleon and CGIs himself all over the place.
He was one of Carnage's arms.
I'd be willing to bet
At one
he was
point, he
somewhere
was just
in
an
there
arm.
at some point.
He literally stood on Woody Harrelson's shoulders and just went like this.
Yeah,
Probably.
exactly right.
They mo-capped him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really, but well, maybe. I don't know. We'll never know.
Well,
That's a mystery. We
They
will
might.
never know.
They might have.
Andy Serkis, if you were in this movie as an arm,
Highlight it for us.
tell us.
Yeah,
and
let us
then
know.
Come on the show and tell us how you did it.
How you did an arm.
Yeah, because that's got to be
Sorry
tough.
to rag on your movie, though.
Yeah, I loved you as Gollum, and what was his name in Planet of the Apes?
Caesar.
Caesar.
My
I
man.
loved him as Caesar.
Caesar, he was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he was.
He
Super
really
good.
had to do a lot of work on terms of like the motion capture and
Yeah.
everything on that.
Yeah.
Even more than
Oh,
Gollum,
yeah.
because
Oh,
Gollum
yeah,
was
yeah,
just on
yeah,
hands
yeah.
and toes.
Yeah, he had to walk
Like,
on those like
yeah,
ape
yeah,
arms
he
or
had
whatever.
to. He had to really.
But he also had to like walk like an ape standing
Exactly.
up too.
Right,
Because
exactly.
that was like a whole thing with Caesar.
Yep.
Was he was like almost humanoid.
Yeah,
Yep,
he could
exactly.
stand. He was good in Marvel movies too as Claw. I love him as Claw.
Yeah, he was good as Claw.
Claw.
He was great. It was one of the few times we actually saw him,
Yeah.
like as his face.
I
He
know
wasn't,
that's
like,
for
CGI.
like
He
without
was great.
being CGI'd over.
Yeah, he was super good. All right, cast.
So we could talk about
Not Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis for a long time. But
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
we have to
gotta
continue
keep
on with
this
this movie.
moving.
Could we just
Can we just talk about everything
Can we
but
just pause here?
the movie?
Let's just pause here and
Let's just
take
talk about
a
Good week, guys.
25-minute
Sorry, guys.
episode on Andy Serkis.
This movie was terrible.
Yep.
Andy Serkis is great. Let's talk about him.
Cool.
All
Move
right,
on.
no, I'm kidding. We gotta
Oh,
we gotta do the job, man. Somebody's gotta
Somebody's
got to
do it.
Put it on my back.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. All right, Tom Hardy came back as Eddie Brock.
of course.
We got Michelle Williams returning as Anne Wang. We got Reed Scott coming back as Dr. Dan.
Worthless.
Honestly, I like the three of them, their chemistry.
Yeah,
like,
I don't mind
with
that.
Venom.
I
when,
do.
When he's
In the
like,
first one, they didn't do anything really with it in this one.
No, I liked Dan
she-
coming to save at the end, like trying to be a part of that. And I thought it was funny. I
She
thought they had
also
fun.
like had to.
You literally
couple
just
scenes.
said just trying to be a part of it. Like,
Yeah,
like,
well, he
thanks
was
for
trying to
making me a
save
part
stuff.
of this.
Yeah, well, he wanted to be a part of it, man. He wants to be as cool as Venom.
What were you saying, Harry?
Oh, I was just saying that she was in a couple scenes where like before they break Eddie and Venom break up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was part of the reason. For some reason, Venom's like, you're not gonna try to fight and get back with her. Like, you're a bum, and just like left him. It's like, wow, it's pretty sad. Venom is telling you relationship advice.
Talking
Yep.
so much
That's what
smack on
redeems these
Eddie.
movies.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
whole
yeah,
Venom
they're back and
himself.
forth. Yeah, which is Tom
That's
Hardy.
because it's
Which
just
is-
Tom
yeah.
Hardy.
It's
Tom
just
Hardy talking to
Tom Hardy
himself.
talking to himself.
If you recorded me talking to myself, I bet I could.
I'd probably rather watch that.
Really
Yeah,
good. I bet we'd
I
have
would
a
rather
really
watch that
good
than this
response
movie.
to it.
It's kind of what we do every day when we hang out with you. So.
Yeah. You could just film this.
Ew.
We should have cardboard cutouts of you one of these times,
And just have you just talk?
have me just talk.
You wouldn't know how to start the video.
You're right.
What's good? Who's out there,
What?
Legion?
What's going on, Legionnaires?
Greg, Harry, where are you guys?
I don't know how to
Why
start
aren't
it.
you talking? All right, we also get Stephen Graham as Detective Mulligan. Who I thought he was fine.
He was fine.
Yeah, he was
we
fine.
actually have some
There's
stuff
nothing-
about him at the end.
Yeah.
Which may or may not become something.
Okay.
We also have Naomi Harris as Frances Barrison, which I'll talk about in sorts here a little bit.
That is interesting.
She's plays Shriek. She also she's Calypso in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
And
Yeah.
Moneypenny
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
of the new 007s.
That's
yeah, that's
true.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great in that.
Completely
She's
forgot
great.
about
She's
that.
really
Yep.
great in that.
But
She was not great in this.
She channeled it. This was a knockoff Calypso. She played this
who was
exactly
terrible, though. It
like
was
she
so
played
bad.
Calypso.
Well, it's the
except
same idea.
like
They're
not
like-
except with not as much gumption.
But they're the same idea. They're lovers who can't be together. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson comes in as Cleus Cassie. Again, wonderful casting.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson as
Yes,
a serial
Woody.
killer is just like he's so
Woody Harrelson, yes, as a
Great.
serial killer.
Can I just
Just
ask a question
wonderful.
though?
Yeah,
just
of course.
because you know me, I don't necessarily. I'm not a Spider-Man fan, so I don't. I had to
Mhm.
do a little research about Venom.
Yeah, but who is?
First thing.
I mean, really.
I did not realize that. Uh-oh. Time to sing. He puts Batman in your seat.
it's snowing out. I'm gonna stay here.
I did not realize Venom's not that old.
As a character, as
Yeah.
a comic character,
Yes,
from, like,
yes, not as a
2004.
kid. Yeah.
no, from the
No.
80s, 1980s.
Really?
Yeah,
I just said his first
Oh, I didn't
appearance
hear-
was
I didn't hear the
1984.
80s part.
First appearance
Well,
in
this
1984.
one.
Lethal
the
I'm sorry, not Venom. I'm sorry, not Venom. I'm sorry, Carnage.
Carnage.
I didn't realize Carnage is not that old.
He's still not that young. He was also back in the 80s. So the original Maximum Carnage
Never
run
mind.
with Lethal Protector.
I'm out. I tried. I really tried.
Yeah.
No, it's
You
okay.
did.
I'm done.
The newer,
Toasted.
the newer anti-hero Venom in the comics is in the early 2000s, and a lot of this was based off of that.
Okay,
The original Lethal Protector
Maybe that's where I got
run-
confused with the
Yeah,
source material.
Probably.
A little bit.
yeah. The
Sure.
the original Lethal Protector run was in the 80s, and that's where they got most of it from. All right, so let's talk. That was
Greg's like, all right, shut up, Harry. And
Muting Harry. Like, which one of these is Harry's, Mike?
and I'm out.
no, it's fine. Again, these guys are not like I honestly Venom. I did not follow a lot of his individual stuff,
Yeah.
like his personal runs. I followed mostly when he was in Spider-Man comics. So
Right.
a lot of this,
Which is why you care so much about Spider-Man not being there.
Right. Well,
which makes sense.
The
Right.
origin of Venom has everything to do with Spider-Man.
Exactly. I mean, like I just said,
Yeah.
he doesn't get introduced as an individual character. He comes
Right.
in with like through Spider-Man, not with Spider-Man,
Right. He
through
doesn't
Spider-Man.
exist without Spider-Man in the comics.
Right.
He couldn't exist. All right. So Shriek in the comics. So a lot of the source material that they pulled from. So in the first movie, they pulled a lot from Lethal Protector.
Lethal Protector.
Venom.
Yep.
This one, they pulled a lot from Maximum Carnage. So which is a comic run where Carnage is born.
So nod in my head.
So very kind of similar to how he's born in this
Because he wasn't he a cop originally?
No. So
Dude, you gotta stop trying over there.
I thought he was a cop. I thought Carnage was
Yeah,
a cop
no.
in the first runs.
No, Cletus Cassidy was
Oh,
always
my
a serial
word.
killer. So in the original,
I
in
don't know where you're at, man.
the original run, Venom or Eddie Brock was imprisoned, and
Right.
he was in a cell next to Cletus Cassidy. The symbiote comes. So the symbiote had left Eddie Brock, and Eddie Brock was in prison.
Yeah.
And the symbiote then found Eddie in prison, rebonded with him, broke him out of prison.
Yep.
But
Right.
what Eddie didn't know was that the symbiote at that point was carrying its offspring. And so when they broke out of prison, the symbiote dropped its offspring in the prison.
Yeah.
So the alien symbiote, that's how it reproduces. It reproduces just by itself. And so like it's
By
like,
what is that called?
It's,
a cell
asexual
asexual
mutation.
reproduction.
Yeah.
Reproduction.
Yeah, it's cell division. But anyway, so he leaves it behind and it latches on to Cletus because Cletus is so
Cletus.
evil. Yeah.
I would have greatly preferred something more similar to that.
Well, but again, Eddie can't be in prison because
Instead
he's
of him
not fighting
fighting him?
Spider-Man. Like the reason why Eddie was in prison was because of fighting Spider-Man.
no. There could have been a billion reasons
I didn't
from
mind.
that first
I
movie
didn't mind the bite.
about why
why he was in prison?
He could have
Yeah.
been in prison. He could have been imprisoned for anything that happened in
Yeah.
that first movie.
Yeah,
Anything.
probably.
Who, Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of dumb stuff.
Eddie, like, he had no control over Venom until the last 10 minutes
Yeah.
of the first movie. So they
Yeah,
didn't
for sure.
do anything productive. He, in the first movie, do you remember he like killed, I don't know,
He
50
ate,
cops?
He
Yeah.
He ate a
lot of people.
ton of
people's
people
heads
in
off.
that
Yeah.
first movie.
Yeah. And then he convinced him not to at the end. Well, anyway,
Right.
All right. So in Maximum Carnage, Carnage at this point is imprisoned in a place called Ravencroft Institute, which is the place that we see in the movie where he's a kid
Right. Yep.
with Shriek.
Yeah.
But he didn't know Shriek in the comics at all.
Mhm.
But then when he breaks out a bunch of people and he calls them his family because the symbiote
Family.
is desire. It's all about family.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
The symbiote
I
is
thought we were
desire.
going to make it.
The symbiote is desiring
about
family.
It's always about family.
It's always about family.
Yeah.
And so he creates his own family, and he calls Shriek the mother, and he's the father,
weird.
and they get a whole bunch of different
Because now they're love
villains
interest.
together. Yeah, and they do end up, or she ends up becoming infatuated with Carnage.
Right.
Carnage cares about her, but not any more than just in like the whole passion sense. Like it's not like she actually did care for Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah.
But it's not like in this movie where Cletus is like his whole drive is to get her free.
Right.
And he tries to use Carnage to get her free. Also in the movie, he is not compatible with Carnage. In the comics, he is compatible with Carnage. He's his symbiote.
Right. I want to talk about that more when we get to
say-
the actual.
Can you define who is not compatible?
So in the movie,
Yeah.
the reason why Venom and Brock can win at the end is because they come to the conclusion that Cletus Cassidy and Carnage are not compatible with
Right.
each other.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
And
okay, I
it's
get it.
tearing Cletus apart. And,
Right.
and Cletus is getting weaker, which means Carnage getting weaker. Which is great. That's really cool.
Right.
But the problem is
we can talk about that
there's
when we get to the
symbiosis.
actual
Yeah. Well, what I'm
like,
saying is in the
digging into it, because that
the
makes
source,
no sense in the
yeah,
actual
they're
movie.
together. So anyway, in the comics though, Spider-Man ends up having to team up with Eddie Brock and Venom and Black Cat and some of the Avengers actually to come in and help stop Carnage and Carnage's Ravencroft family.
So here's
To
the
save
thing:
the day, which would be way cooler than whatever happened at the end of this movie, which was crap.
why is in the comics this is going to then translate into the movie? Why is Carnage so much more powerful than Venom? Like Venom,
Yeah, if he's
births
not,
him in both of these.
So, right.
Why is he that much more? I like,
Is it
and
because-
so in the movie, I have an explanation probably, but why is it in the comics?
Right. So it's because Cletus gives in so much to his bloodlust.
Okay.
because he's that
So-
way himself.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
Eddie
that's what I was gonna
Brock,
say.
Eddie Brock's not a bad guy in the
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
He just hates Peter Parker and he
Right.
hates Spider-Man.
Right.
And that anger creates this
Drives Venom.
drive for
Right.
Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then that fuels and grows.
There's
and
no
whatever.
reins on Carnage.
Right.
Yeah, but Cletus
Right.
Cassidy literally like he's cannibalistic as a person
Right.
in the comics.
Gotcha.
Like as a human before he has
Right.
Carnage, he's
Right.
cannibalistic.
So I want to talk
So
about
it's
that
like-
when we get
yeah.
to
All right, well
digging in.
let's jump right into that. That's
All
pretty
right.
much all the source material was.
So
Well, the source material was Maximum Carnage, which is a
Yeah.
great source material.
it is,
But they
it
didn't
is.
stick to it because there's no Spider-Man, there's no Black Cat, and there's no Avengers, and there's no family from Ravencroft. It's
No
just
family.
him and Shriek.
So I'm going to do our usual thing where I jump right to the end.
Whoa. Give a little moment for our title card.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All
So I'm going to do our normal thing, and I'm going to jump right to the
Right
end.
to the end.
Right to the
Okay.
end.
So
Well,
that's
the best
what
part.
makes
The rest of it's just crap.
there's so
Yeah.
much crap. There's so much crap in this, and we'll get to some of it, and we're not going to get to all of it because it's not possible. But the biggest issue here I have is Maximum Carnage. We know that Cletus and Carnage are compatible.
Yes.
It's part of what drives and makes them so much
So
more
powerful. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They are clearly compatible throughout the entire movie. There is never a hint in any part of the rest of the movie that they are not compatible.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Just a little bit.
Please,
Just
because
a
maybe
little
I
bit.
missed something.
Well, I don't think you really did because I'm stretching, but I have to because this is part of the fun.
Yeah,
Right?
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Somebody's got to
No,
do
it ain't
it.
gonna be me.
Well,
No, I'm just gonna. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do it.
Lean on back.
wasn't
Gonna take it back here.
wasn't Cletus Cassidy a humanitarian?
Let's talk about Woody Harrelson's hair.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So much better than the end credit scene in the first Venom when
That's
it was
true.
like the Ronald McDonald hair.
Yeah,
Like,
he
hi, folks.
puffy.
Yeah.
What? I got a Happy Meal for you. So the only division I saw in the movie
Yeah.
is that the Carnage slowly was realizing that Cletus was more attached to Shriek than to him, and Shriek would scream, and like that would hurt Carnage, which I thought was a cool dynamic. But it was I think the symbiote was realizing that Cletus wanted to be with her, and it wasn't going to work. Like there wasn't going to be, because if he's with her, then Carnage can't be with him.
I didn't make that
That's
jump.
the only thing I can think of.
I didn't make that jump.
only thing I
I
can think
guess
of.
it's the only thing you could think of. I guess
that-
that kind of makes sense, but really
But they're
all that
talking
I
about
took from
genetically.
that,
They're talking about
yeah,
genetically.
they're
That,
talking
like, it's not a
genetically,
match.
it's not a match,
Because
right?
the matches, if you saw Venom took a lot of people in the movie that weren't matches, and they died.
what exactly?
They straight up died,
and they
man.
died super fast.
Yeah, they went in ditches.
So here's the thing: there is no way, if Cletus and Carnage are not a match, that he lasts as long as he has lasted in that body. Venom jumped from body to body to body that were not matches, and did you just headbutt your mic?
I brim butted it. I hit it with the brim of my hat.
I'm in the middle of a full rant.
I know, and I was getting into it. I was like,
Let me jump back in
with
here.
you.
Now I gotta try and bring it back. But
Heaven,
multiple people died because Venom was not a match within their bodies. Like there's in the time frame that Carnage was matched up with Cletus. So there's no way that if they're not a match, Cletus doesn't die. I mean, we should even see signs of fatigue.
Yeah.
That would be the thing that would help along the way to build this story that they are not a match.
Yeah, he got
Cletus
the swagger
starts
still
to
at the end.
sweat. Cletus
Well, he
starts
was always
to
sweating.
No. But what I'm saying, Cletus,
he should look sick. He
when
should look
somebody
like he's
wasn't a match, right? They started to break down. They physically couldn't even stand.
Yeah, I mean,
when we saw it in the
look at
first
Mrs.
movie.
Mrs. Chen when she
Thank
was
you.
when she gave the symbiote to Anne,
Right,
to be
right.
She-Venom for a little bit again.
Exactly.
She was like, ugh. She like looked like she was gonna puke the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are sickly. They are dying. Even Venom, when he is not getting the nourishment that he needs
Right. He's
from
off.
Brains,
He's off.
Eddie Brock looks like he's on the verge of death. So they are even a genetic match, and he's not getting the brains.
Chickens
And chocolate.
Chickens and chocolate.
Chickens and chocolate.
Chickens and chocolate.
But what
That's pretty much my diet.
what I'm saying is,
Sans feathers.
had they done along the way that
that he was getting sickly.
Carnage is using him. He's sickly. He's struggling with it, but he wants to use Carnage to be able to reach Shriek. So they're using each other, and it's not really working. But they're doing everything they can because they have these end goals in mind to use each other to get to. Perfect. Like I would be along with it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
They didn't do anything.
Nope.
Until Shriek yelled, and they were like, "Oh, they're not a match."
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
It wasn't even.
Time out. Shriek yells, and Venom moves away from Eddie. That doesn't make it. It doesn't matter. That's not an indicator that they don't match.
It wasn't even that. They were like under a pile of rubble, and they're like trying to get up, and Eddie's like, "We can do this. Remember, they're not a match." It's like,
where?
what?
Why? How? When?
All you ever said about it is, "Oh no, that's the red one." Which
we didn't even get into. Why is a red one so scary?
It's not.
You can't have this huge line.
There's lots of
and then
different color
Venom
symbiotes.
is like pulls all the way back.
Yeah, because it's a red
and
one.
Eddie has to coax him out, and it's just because he's a red one. And he's like,
Well,
and then Venom's line about you're gonna die.
Yeah.
No, we are.
And they never even addressed the fact that Carnage is his child.
Right.
Like in the
Well,
comics,
no, they do. They have him reference father numerous times.
Oh, do they?
Yes. Carnage references.
Oh, that's
and
right.
calls him father
when the priest
numerous
is there,
times.
and the priest is like, me, and he's like, no, not
and
you.
then
the
he
other
also,
one. Yeah,
and then
that's true.
it also goes into he's like, only one of us can walk away on this evening. Like, why? Why can only one of you
Why can't you
survive
work
right now?
together?
Like, this isn't you're not battling the Galactic Empire. Like, you're
It's a father-son bonding.
Why?
moment. They should bond. They should, go play.
Together
But
they
just-
can rule a galaxy.
So
Yeah,
the thing that I can
they
reach
tried
on
in the comics. There's some comics where they do work together.
The thing that I can reach on is so Carnage and Venom start fighting each other. They're going after each other, and it actually looks pretty even. But then Carnage gets him pinned against the wall, and he's like, it's time to like level up or power up or whatever he says.
and he eats the head.
And he eats the head
Of the priest, right? Yeah.
right? And then he becomes
Gross.
all this more powerful.
Yeah.
I can understand or I can buy into Carnage is that much more powerful because he's eating
human brains.
human brains,
Yeah,
and Venom
that does.
has not
Yeah, you
been
can do that.
feeding on that. I can get along with that. I can go along with it, but it just doesn't line up with what's in the comics, and they don't do really any explanation behind it. You're left to make this leap, and Venom was already afraid of him before he even knew
Is that
he was eating.
Gets his powers in the comic book?
No,
He's just who he is because of what he is, right?
Yeah, he's just an alien. I mean, he needs.
Why did they do that?
I don't know why, man.
I mean,
Is it because they just wanted to make a violent
Brains!
movie?
Yeah, I think they. Well, originally the director, for the first Venom, wanted it R-rated, and then they didn't. They ended up
I
getting
just
that.
don't get it.
But no, it's in the comics.
It's like saying in a Batman movie, he actually uses guns and kills people.
Right.
And it's like supposed to be based off of all the comics that doesn't happen.
They did
Right.
It's
Yeah, they did.
oh.
Batman vs Superman shoots a lot of people.
Shoots a lot of
He
people.
does,
all
but
kinds
it's
of
never
people.
like
And he
like
shoots
45 to the face.
No.
Michael Keaton, he blew up a whole building with people.
Listen, I understand
He
these
really
are
doesn't.
or like. Well, you know, if you take the rocket from
Yeah,
okay.
anyway.
I'm
But
talking like
you're right.
straight
That's
up looks at dude in the face and shoots him in the face.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the only
I'm
one
not talking
who
about
does
Nightmare
that,
Batman.
Yeah, I was going to say the
Ooh,
only
yeah,
one who
Thomas
does
Wayne.
that is Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne in
Thomas
the Shattered
Wayne.
Dimension in
Yeah.
the other future.
I get that,
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
but I'm saying that's like
definitely.
them doing that.
Yeah.
The only strength that symbiotes gather is by the compatibility of their host.
Right.
It's like the symbiote needs to have, so it's weak.
And
when
that-
it's
Why do
not with the
people not
host.
understand that they can just do what's in the
Do
comic?
the comics.
Right.
Do the
That is what the
comics.
people
That
want.
explanation
So we
makes
all
so much
won.
more sense. That explanation would make
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there should be
Just do the comics.
there should have
We
been an
love the
explanation
comics.
very early on in one
I
of the
love
first in the
comics.
first movie where it was different levels of compatibility.
Right.
They were basically doing you're either alive and you're compatible or you're dead and you're uncompatible.
Right. See you
and they-
never.
And they pretty much, I mean, but they never, the first movie, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the first movie they ever said that, like, eating brains makes them more powerful. It's just Venom was evil, and that's just what he did, and Eddie was trying to harness him. Did they ever really say that, like, he needed to eat brains to be powerful?
I don't know. I think
that
he-
was
The
the
first
second-
like half hour of Carnage was just them
Brains,
saying like
brains.
you
I
need
need
to eat
brains.
brains.
I need
brains.
I need
Yeah.
brains. I
I
need.
need-
Yeah.
Do you know what one of the
Chickens
interesting
won't do. I've
things?
named these ones.
One of the really
Don't touch Henrietta or whatever the woman's name was.
I thought that was funny, but it was
I liked Venom.
Yeah, Venom's
Yeah.
funny.
I thought he was funny.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
terrible
But
movie, though. It's a terrible,
It's
terrible
so
movie.
bad. Like
So
bad.
one of the funny things
that's so much I didn't want
that
to
was
research.
pointed
this.
out to me.
Obviously, because I'm sitting here like I don't even care. Like I really tried.
Normally you hate movies with a passion, but
Yeah.
you just this one is so
I
defeating
just
that I
don't
just
care.
don't even
Sucked
care.
all the passion out of
Don't
you.
care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You
they
ruined
really-
a great actor who I love.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Two of them.
That is
Tom
true.
Hardy.
Two of them.
I wouldn't say I love
Harrelson's
Woody
great.
Harrelson. I wouldn't
Oh,
say
I
I
love
love
Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like him a lot.
But you don't- you like
Tom
him less.
Holland. Tom Holland. Don't my word. This is how upset I am.
This is where we're
Tom
going.
Hardy
Yeah.
is like one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they just made me say his name wrong.
You got me all worked up.
I'm all worked up.
All
I go to
worked.
church every Sunday.
All worked up. All
Bringing
right.
demons out of me.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. I don't
So
think
I
there's
mean,
really much
hold
more
on.
to
The
say.
one thing I wanted to point out though
Yeah. What'd you want to say?
was the one thing that's really interesting about both of these comic book movies that is different than any other comic book movie is
Venom and Carnage or
whenever Venom and Carnage is whenever somebody gets their powers in a comic book movie, right? They become like radiant. They're glowing. They
Yeah,
become jacked to all heck. They are the peak
Yeah.
physical specimen.
Yeah, not Eddie.
Right? Okay.
Of what they could be, yeah.
when Venom
true.
comes into your body,
Yeah. He's a
yo,
parasite.
Tom,
You look like you went on a
Tom looks like
14-day
he's gonna
bender.
die
Yeah.
for
Tijuana.
90% of both of these movies. Both of these movies, Tom Hardy is on the verge of death.
Which is not comic accurate.
I know.
In the comics, Venom made Spider-Man more confident,
Yes.
stronger,
Yes.
faster,
Yes.
more appealing.
Yes.
And then when he took over Eddie, he made Eddie stronger.
Yep.
Like he got more muscular.
Yep.
He got huge. He
Yep.
got more powerful.
Yep.
Like
But
I agree.
I do
that
think it's an
unique,
interesting and unique,
unique,
dynamic
but
because
it's wrong.
it is wrong. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you that it's wrong, but I do think it's one of the most unique dynamics in a comic book movie because
Yeah.
you'd usually expect, like, dude, if you if you came and you're like, dude, I got superpowers. You'd be jacked all heck.
And then you're like-
Did you get good ones? Like,
You're like, dude, I got superpowers. You just throw up.
yeah, you just vomit
Oh,
on the floor.
I feel terrible.
Yes, dude, this
I
is
have
the
to eat
Toxic
people.
Avenger.
Yeah, that's true.
This is
Tom Hardy should play the new Toxic Avenger.
that's basically
go.
what we're getting here. Is
So what you're saying is like
not
when
the
you
Lethal
become
Avenger. We are getting the Toxic Avenger.
That's right, the Toxic Avenger.
when
Ugh.
you become like Venom, you just kind of turn into like this.
Now take on this. Yes. 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 Yes.
Well done. Well done.
But somehow more appealing.
That is more appealing.
Apparently.
No, that's more appealing than Venom. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that was more appealing. Yeah, which is embarrassing.
Remember how angry people were? This is where I can step in. You know how angry people were when this Venom came out?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like, this is garbage. This is terrible.
Well, people apparently like this one.
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people like it, but what would you say is
Back
more
in
comic
theaters.
book accurate?
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, this on the what was Topher Grace?
Spider-Man 3.
is more. I can't believe I'm saying
Spider-Man
If Eric
3
Redmond or whatever his name is from that
I'm
70s show
blown
coming
away.
in and being Venom.
I'm blown away by that.
He
That
got- he
like
got-
the
think about
more
that.
He got
comic
pretty big.
accurate
He got a pretty big
representation of Venom is from Spider-Man 3.
It's gross. It's gross. All right, let's wrap this up. I can't.
Dude, we didn't even
It
talk
hurts.
about
You know what's
like,
the worst part is
the
that
majority
Greg
of
is
the movie.
a Spider-Man, Venom, all these fan things.
yeah,
And
he's
he
just
doesn't
like,
even want
I'm
to talk
done.
about
I'm
it.
done.
So
I'm
much.
over it.
Well, here's the problem.
It's so
though. Here's
terrible.
the problem is that no, you're
There
right.
is nothing else
There's
in the movie.
nothing else to talk about.
There's nothing else in the movie.
The rest of the movie
Mm-hmm.
is Eddie
Yep.
having relationship issues with Venom.
Yeah, just having
And-
a petty squabble with him the
and
whole time.
Cletus Cassidy writing stupid poetry to a woman who screams. Like
Yeah.
that's the rest of the movie. It's
You
the,
just- that
the
was
only
great
good
synopsis
part is
there,
the,
Greg.
is the talk.
Well done.
So the very end.
And credits.
Well, and time out. And Eddie Brock is an investigative journalist, but somehow can't put any pieces together,
Oh,
so
yeah, he's
Venom
the
solves
worst.
everything for him.
Yep. That's 'cause-
What?
Well, that's
He
'cause-
was an investigative journalist. They just removed that from him.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave it to Venom.
And they gave it to Venom?
Well, Venom's cooler anyway.
I mean, let's be honest. If that was the least of like the things they did, that would be like, all right.
No, but my point is, so let's go on the
They
Venom.
even
Let's go on the
took that.
Venom.
They even took that, yes.
that.
They even took that as my point.
I
Let's
do
go on the
like-
Venom making your attributes that much more prominent, more powerful, and
Yeah, he
everything.
should have been more
He
perceptive.
should
Right.
have been
Yeah.
able to support and enhance
But in
that
this
like
movie, they
investigation.
didn't.
No,
They made you like
No.
weak
they made
and
him
dumb
weak and dumb.
and nothing.
It made it seem as though Eddie and him were not compatible, as opposed to Cletus.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody in this movie I had to believe was incompatible,
Yeah.
it was Eddie and not Cletus.
But at the end of the day, you can say
I
they're still
tried.
family
They are still family.
because it's about family.
All right, so the very end, we see a little Easter egg, which I thought was fun. I have to mention it because it's
It's-
at least something.
We've already talked about it.
Because it's
technically.
part of it in a different
no,
movie.
we haven't. Patrick
Yeah.
Mulligan.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the Easter egg at the end.
No.
Like the after credit scene.
No, that one's trash.
Well, yeah, because we talked about it and it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's
Go
dumb.
ahead.
No, Patrick Mulligan, the detective who shot Shriek,
Yes.
which I thought was kind of cool. It was a cool callback.
Yep, and
That's
he's
why he
deaf.
lost his hearing and
Yep.
stuff. But he is a cop from the comics who does get a symbiote. Oh,
There's a cop.
Oh, that's the guy.
There you go.
We're going to go with that. That was the guy I was
Yeah.
talking
That was
about.
who you were thinking.
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, Harry, you got it.
He becomes the symbiote toxin.
That's what it.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Now, yep.
There we go.
See, that's why I was confused
You were
because I was
doing
doing
your
some research and I thought the
Yeah.
word toxin was just like toxin, like
No.
a toxic symbiote.
no.
No.
Because how it was worded, it was different.
I
Yeah,
got you.
Legionnaires,
You
I tried. I
You
really
tried,
did.
Man. You
He
tried.
I tried.
So Toxin is the child of Carnage. And
So Venom's grandson.
right. And so
My boy.
he molds
Oh no, my boy.
he melds it with Patrick Mulligan. So at the very end, Patrick Mulligan survives all of that, which is
Yeah.
like how in the world.
Right.
And then he gets a little something in his eye, like you can see like he's
What
getting
color is
taken
he?
over. He's like purpley red.
See, here's the problem. And this is a similar
he's like a
problem
red.
with, usually, I will say, what happened with the Flash TV series is
Yeah.
the only thing in the Flash TV series that ended up like perpetually being the main villain
Yes.
was other speedsters. So
Right.
the
Now it's other
only
symbiotes.
thing in this that they're perpetually doing
Yeah.
is other symbiotes.
You know why?
He
There's no
has
Spider-Man.
there's no Spider-Man. That's
Right.
the problem that he faces. So
stupid.
because there's no Spider-Man, all they have to lean on is symbiote.
Yeah.
Now, the Flash messed it up because they had other things that they could have done.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there any other Are there any other villains that Venom could have actually dug into other than like, we're just going to keep setting up generational symbiotes?
No, he's
My
a
13th grandfather,
Yeah.
Toxin.
he's a Spider-Man
House
villain.
of Venom.
He's a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
He needs to fight Spider-Man
Right.
and the Avengers, and like he can fight those guys, but he needs to be a bad guy then.
Right, exactly.
He's not
And
a bad
this is
guy
where
now.
we need to see him as an actual
So-
bad guy instead of
So
this
he is-
anti-hero. And he wasn't even, I have to say, he wasn't even an anti-hero in this because
No.
he didn't eat anybody. He didn't do anything wrong. He only fought
Well,
Carnage.
He did wrong things when he wasn't with Eddie, but
No, he didn't. He went to a rave.
he killed all those people he symbioted to. He left them to die in gutters.
Okay, I meant other than that.
So he could. So in the comics, he does become part of the Dark Avengers,
Right.
With Norman Osborn,
Yes,
Green Goblin,
yeah.
and as the Iron Patriot, and
Mhm.
so like
Mhm.
he could do that. Kind
Yeah,
of.
they don't really have
But he
many
still has to be a bad
places
guy.
to
He
go
still has to
with
be a
this
bad guy to
other
do
than
that because
keep.
Dark Avengers are bad
Well, because
guys.
they're going to. So here's the reality. You're making this much money.
Yeah,
They're going to do
gonna
more
make
with
another
this.
one.
They're going to do another thing with
Money,
this.
please.
I don't
Yeah, they'll
know,
make
but
another one.
like, what do they do with it? Do they have him cross over with Morbius?
Well, no, there's talks that he's going to meet up with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
See, and that's where the exciting thing happens.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's where
That's fine because they're bringing in a Spider-Man.
right.
I'm okay
But-
with that.
But what I'm
Yes.
saying is the most
I
exciting
know my
thing
opinion
about
doesn't
all of
matter in this.
is the rumor that, and I don't know if it's
Yeah,
fully
that- right,
confirmed,
that
but
they're-
it's
it's
at
not,
least
but
partially
that they're connected.
like really rumored.
He's
that
begging.
Andrew Garfield is coming back, and they will have a separate universe
Right.
in the multiverse
Right.
of Andrew Garfield being Spider-Man and then
Right.
Tom Hardy being Venom, and
If they
they
don't
can
bring
build
Tugboat
out
Tobes, I'm gonna be pissed.
their Sinister Six. They're not going to
Yeah.
bring Tugboat Tobes because I don't think he even wants to come back.
Yeah, no, they did. There's
Tobes wants to come back.
There's talks. There is talks about Spider-Man 4 being greenlit with Toby and him coming
Oh.
back to do his last movie, which would be fantastic.
Old man Spider-Man.
Old man Spidey.
Old man Spidey.
Well, so yeah, the reason why the biggest reason why
Dude, you need to just make it a button.
I need to at
You
this
You need to
point.
make it a button.
the biggest reason why that could happen is because it actually even ties into Spider-Man No Way Home, which was a good movie.
Good movie
They're
there.
good movies.
Good movie.
So in Spider-Man No Way Home, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man talks about how after he lost Gwen, he lost control of himself. He
Right.
stopped pulling his punches. He went to a dark place.
yeah.
Right, which
Yeah.
is cool. In the Mobius, is it Mobius or Morbius?
Mobius.
No, I think it's Morbius.
No, because
No,
Which
it's
one?
Mobius and Mobius.
yeah, it's got to be Mobius.
Because Morbius.
No, but
Morbius
it's
is-
Morbius. Morbius is the Dracula.
Morbius?
Yep. Mobius is Owen Wilson.
That's what I
Wow.
said.
Yeah, so it's
Mobius and Mobius. And
Oh,
Morbius
right.
is
Oh
Morbius
my
is the
gosh, you're right. Yes,
I get them
thank
mixed
you.
up. They're one
There's-
letter.
well,
away.
and it's also really
You
close
know, it's
to
going to be a
Morpheus.
garbage movie.
Yeah,
It's also
Morbius.
really close to
Morbius.
Morbius. Well, but anyway, so in Morbius, in the trailer, they walk by and there's a picture of Spider-Man with a graffiti that says "murderer" over it,
Yeah.
and so there's thoughts
Murder?
that he's didn't pull his punches. That's actually the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man who killed people.
That's fine.
because he went crazy.
No, but what I would be really excited about
Yeah.
that because now we actually get a Spider-Man built into this universe.
Yeah, it could
Without
be
a
something.
Spider-Man in this universe,
It's
we're
gonna
just
die.
it's gonna,
It's-
yeah,
it's-
exactly.
it's
There's
dying.
nowhere to go.
What do you call it?
Cyclical.
Trash.
No, I was going to say
It's a self-defeating principle.
Spinning in the drain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Circling
yeah,
in the drain.
circling the drain.
Yeah, at this point,
Yeah.
it's just circling the drain.
Yeah.
It's
Somehow people are going to see it, but it's still circling.
Well,
the
because
drain.
Oh, they
of
want
exactly
Venom.
what we talked
They want
about.
Venom.
They want Venom,
They want
and
Venom.
they
And they want
like
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Verdict time, please. Let's just end this. All right.
That's the verdict.
Yeah.
It's over, right?
It's over.
terrible.
Let's just end
We
this.
will never watch that
Unless
movie again.
here's the verdict, and it's you said
That's the
this.
verdict.
Unless
So
Venom
I'm
3 comes out and we have to watch Venom 2 to remember what
We're going to
happened.
have to.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I'm
It's gonna
inevitable.
happen. Here's the verdict. This was a terrible movie.
Terrible movie.
This can only be redeemed if Spider-Man somehow comes back in.
No.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying the movie can be redeemed.
Okay, good.
I'm saying that we can continue a storyline here, and we can actually go to like a Venom 3.
So you're saying the universe can be
the
redeemed.
universe can be redeemed.
But the movie can't.
The movie can't be redeemed.
it's
There's
done.
nothing in the movie.
Done dead.
Yeah, you know what?
They would have to they would have to one craft a story.
No, they could.
Two, they would have to
Read a comic.
read a
Respect the
comic
source
book.
material.
They would have to
Yeah.
actually follow the source
No,
material. There's no way to
all-
redeem this movie.
No.
Like
all-
put it in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And
Close
and
the coffin.
Close
So
the
my
coffin.
basketball
Yeah.
coach used to say, just close the coffin.
Close the coffin.
That's right. Let it
Let
die.
it
But
sleep.
if we want to talk about the amount of money
Tom
that it's
Hardy being
made, Tom
Venom.
Hardy being Venom,
Yeah.
being able to continue
Bring
this
Andrew.
universe,
Does Tom Hardy
bring
enjoy doing
Andrew
this?
Garfield
I
in.
don't know.
I don't know. That is a really, really
don't
good
know.
question.
I'll look it up real quick.
Keep
I
him
gotta see
happy,
if it's-
man.
Yeah, maybe. Does he? Well, I don't know. He'll-
Man's making money off of it. I
he's
can
making-
tell you
Yeah,
that
but
much.
what-
He's got to be
a
making
lot of money.
bank.
Anything
They
he
gotta
does,
give
he makes
Give
money.
him all of the money. Yes, but he doesn't need it. He's one of those actors that it's going to
He
be
just
like
play what he wants to play.
exactly. So if he doesn't enjoy
It's like
it,
the number one. Does Tom Hardy? And it's like enjoy playing Venom.
yeah, I'm sure it's one of the top
Um,
searches. That's the only way to save this
Yeah,
universe.
bring Spider-Man.
You
in.
have
Bring
to have
a
you
Spider-Man
have to
in.
bring a Spider-Man in, and preferably it be Andrew Garfield
I
Spider-Man.
don't know. I want Toby.
Yeah, but that Toby won't make sense with this universe.
Toby makes sense everywhere.
No, he wouldn't, because the fact that they made
has
this
his own
Venom,
universe.
it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
He
It's-
already had a Venom.
He already had a
Yeah.
Venom. They would have to
Unless-
retcon
Well, unless when Doctor Strange sent them all back, they went to the wrong universes because he messed everything up.
Ooh.
So
I mean, it could be.
Interesting.
So he pretty
move
much
there.
says he's like he enjoys the character. He said, number one, I think Venom looks cool. He's like, I know it sounds campy, but like I think he looks cool.
Yeah,
He
He's
does
like, it
look
is what it
cool.
is. He's like,
Yeah.
second thing, he's like, there's something funny about the circumstance of having a gift, but it's tragic. It's a superpower, but you don't really want it. But at the same time, you love it. It makes you feel special. He's a reluctant hero and anti-hero. So that's why he enjoys playing him.
Yeah, so he can.
Yeah,
he
so he
enjoys
does
the
enjoy
character.
it.
I get that.
I mean, obviously, the man's not going to say, like, these movies are trash that I
Sure,
start starring.
sure.
You know what I mean?
They have to wait until it
Well,
becomes
there are some that do.
That's true.
George
I wouldn't be
Clooney level
surprised if he did.
Batman.
Yeah,
Then he
yeah.
says he regrets it all the time. But
Yeah, and
all I'm excited
RDJ
for,
and Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
right? All I'm excited for is the fact that Venom reproduced in the MCU, and so there is a symbiote in the MCU now, which I think is cool.
That is true too.
I'm excited for
What
that
if they
because they're
just
the only
like
ones who
cut
do it
off
well.
like Tom Hardy and all of them and just went with that?
I would be super happy about
The
that.
That would be
MCU.
fine, but it's also kind of like burning them, and I get that we're fine with that, but it's also like Tom Hardy's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would be.
the
cool
MCU
with,
is probably going to end up doing that, but
well,
Right,
I don't
regardless,
think, but
but-
I don't think Sony will stop making their Venom movies.
no,
I just
no,
think,
no.
I
I'm
think
not
Tom
saying
Hardy
that.
will still,
I'm not saying that.
It's just that people won't pay attention to them anymore because they'll
Right.
go to the MCU one. I think what they should just do is
Yeah.
Disney should go to Tom Hardy and be like, but this money. And
Well,
just make
didn't-
him-
no,
make him
didn't-
Venom.
No.
Hold on,
No.
didn't-
Time out.
Just
Time out.
I'll
If
forget.
Disney's going for money,
Right.
they
Yeah.
should just go to Sony and be like, this money,
and
Right.
buy all of Spider-Man.
and buy of all of Spider-Man.
But
I
the
think
thing
they're
is
trying
that-
to. I
isn't
think
it kind
Sony's
of-
milking it?
Although if they're doing it or not, isn't it confirmed that Andrew Garfield is Venom's like Spider-Man?
Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, because he says like, oh, that thing that happened
don't
in
know,
San
man.
Francisco in Carnage. He says that. I mean, I'm sorry. He says that thing, that rhino suit, or he said he mentions
I
something
believe
from
you're right.
the second Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
something
fully
in- I don't
confirmed,
know.
but
Yeah.
they are
He
alluding
mentions like,
to a lot.
oh,
There's
that, I mean,
allusions.
you could
Sony
say that's
is
not
setting
the
up a
same
lot.
thing. You could say it's not the same universe just because it's the same characters, but it was like that last movie's Spider-Man's movie.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he says that thing
Yeah.
that happened in New York with that Spider-Man and the
The
Rhino.
Rhino.
It was like the Rhino or Electro or one of them. I forget who it was.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
But it
you're
was
right.
something.
But I don't think they fully confirmed that because I don't know
Right.
if they can yet, and I
Right.
don't.
Yeah, I
and
guess so.
so I agree with you. I think they're setting up
It'd be
for
great.
that.
I would like
think
to see
I-
Andrew Garfield.
I would love for that to be the
apart,
case.
across from Tom Hardy.
Because
That'd be
here's
good.
the other thing: when they are sending them back, they're sending back also the villains, quote unquote, fixed.
Right.
So they're sending back Jamie Foxx's Electro the right way.
Well,
Well, he's
going
actually
back.
just no powers.
He has no powers now. He's just him,
Right. Okay.
right? Well, he is.
Mhm.
They
You got a point.
Sucked all the electricity out of him.
Yeah, because he can't figure out a way to then get all of the electricity back in him because he
Yeah.
wasn't a freaking brilliant
Yeah,
scientist.
super smart.
So what I'm saying is
Yeah.
they're sending them back
Yeah.
Yeah.
comic accurate. They're sending them back.
Yeah.
Listen, if this
quote
is how
unquote,
they want to do it.
fixed.
Hey, yeah.
So what
I'm
I'm
okay with
saying
that.
is they could send them back, and you could actually pick up an Electro storyline
Well,
with Andrew Garfield.
Don't you think at that point?
And now you could rebuild that Sinister Six plan.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact of the matter is like Toby is
What are you talking about? Norman's on sabbatical.
Toby is
Sorry, honey.
Best-
Dude, that was
best villain.
Toby is
Anyway.
Best
Toby
villain.
is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Andrew is the amazing Spider-Man,
Right.
And Tom is the spectacular Spider-Man. So there's all the
Yeah.
they are separate Spider-Man runs in
Yeah.
the comics.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with Andrew going out and doing the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
No,
Let's keep
not
doing
it.
those.
You know what? Just
Keep
send
doing
it.
them.
Have them send it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Do it
do
all.
it.
Just do it all.
That's the only, but that's my point.
We need
Only
way
way
this
this
fire.
gets fixed.
we need a good comic accurate Venom movie. We need
Read the
one.
comics.
So let's do it.
They didn't.
I didn't, but you do it.
You do it.
We did.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every week. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, same Legion.